Namaskar. Welcome to Ancient Wisdom. Today we'll be talking about Sri Ram. Today is Shravan Krishna Dvitiya, and on today's Abhijit Muhurat, the Shilanyas for Sri Ram Mandir at Ayodhya was done. It is a historical event and it is a great event. So once again, Jai Shri Ram. Today we will see some proofs from Ramayana itself which clearly delineate Sri Ram as a historical personality and Ramayana itself as a history and not mythology. The first proof we will see from Ramayana itself. When Sri Ram is about to enter the a Rishi tells him that he should be careful of lions and tigers which are roaming around in Dandakaranya. What is so special about this comment? What is special about this comment is nowhere in the world as of today do lions and tigers coexist. Lions are there on the savanna, which is plain land, and tigers are in jungle, which is full of trees. And that is why this comment was for a long time was taken as poetic or a general comment. But then in central India, near Ujjain, Bhimbetka was found. These are caves which go back a long time. And in the near past, in the last 500,000 years, there have been no lions sighted in or around this area at all. But in Bhimbetka caves, there are several pictures of lions as well as tigers, which shows that lions and tigers not only coexisted, they coexisted in this area or nearby. A fact which has been told in Ramayana itself. The second incident is that of Sugriv deputing his deputies to search Sita. He tells them, some of them to go to east, some of them to go to west, some of them to go to south, and some of them to go to north. The leader whom he sends to the east, remember the words east, he tells him that go east till you see at night the Trishul of Sri Shankara. If you see the Trishul and if you do not see Sita, you can come back. Because the question would be, how far is to go? And interestingly, this Trishul exists till today on the west coast, again mark the words, west coast of Peru, and it is called as candelabra of Peru. The structure is so big in size that if you are standing on the structure or nearby, you will not be able to make out anything about the structure. Only when you or in the sky, that is where you will be able to make out the outline of the structure. This is called as candelabra of Peru, which you can check up on the net also and see the resemblance to the Trishul of Sri Shankara. Not only that, this is an area where it is phosphorescence is commonplace. Because of phosphorescence at night, this structure lights up and can be seen from a long distance as shining structure, which has also been described in the Ramayana. Also, it shows the fact that they knew that if you keep going east, at some point of time, you will land up on the west side and then you stop the search and come back. The third proof we can see from one doctor, Dr. Suresh Bhave. He was a practicing surgeon in Pune and an enthusiastic pilot. He had his own small aircraft and he took off with that aircraft and traced the way Sri Ram took to go to Sri Lanka. Based on whatever the findings were given in Ramayana. and he found each and every place that was mentioned in Ramayana to be in existence. Not only that, when you put up the distance and took up the measurements, that is where you could realize the number of days that were taken for going or coming for covering up various points are exactly matching or closely matching which was told in Ramayana and what is practically possible. Furthermore, several of these points only can be seen from air. That is to say, one example is there is a huge lake at Lonar. This lake is so huge that if you are standing near the lake, you cannot make out the size or the shape of the lake itself. It looks like a sea and it is on top of a big mountain. But in Ramayana, this same lake has been described as the lake which is like a ring. And this lake is actually completely round in shape, a shape that could have been made out only from air and not from anywhere else. Lastly but not least, there is one more proof. There are many incidents which have been described in Ramayana, where the person who speaks looks at the sky and talks about some celestial movement, like Rohini Shakatbhang is talked about when Shani gives trouble to Rohini, or many other such celestial events or planetary events have been mentioned. One researcher, Nilesh Nilkantha O, took out all the list of such incidents in Ramayana, some 250 of them, and then using a planetarium software, he tried to see whether these incidents or whether these planetary movements were ever possible. He found out that not only those 250 incidents match exactly, they also match in the general timeline that he is deciding for Ramayana. So the general timeline also matches and the celestial movements also match. This is another proof that Ramayana must have happened. Also, some people ask, a poet could have written. A poet could have written that because he could see the movement of the stars and planets over a period of time. But just think of it, the sky is different at every place, and a person sitting in Ayodhya in those times of not having so much of communication and so on and so forth, if he was able to write incidents of celestial movements for 40 years in the past and 40 years in the future, and also for different locations like Sri Lanka or Dandakaranya or Ayodhya or elsewhere, it would have been a great thing from the scientific view, because he will not be able to make out that kind of imagination. So it was actually happening. That is the only explanation that these incidents actually happened. So in this process, what I have given you is 4 types of proofs. One is the geographical proof, one is the land proof, one is archaeological proof, one is incident proof, and one is time proof. What more would you want to be convinced that Ramayana is actually a history? And think about it, do some research on your own, and you will be convinced that Ramayana is not mythology, it is history in the making. Jai Shri Ram.